Hello and welcome. Today on the bench we have a communication test set. This is a Ser Laboratories BR1000A. And what I want to do today was just talk a little bit about this unit. I've got this unit back in the early 90s. The way I understand, this came out in the 70s from Ser Laboratories. There's not a whole lot of information on the internet about this. There is, however, some schematics. This was a great working unit when it did perform. It was very stable and had a few good features that I liked. On the top it has a 5 megahertz scope. There is no paperwork or no schematics on the scope from Ser, but the scope was built by B&K. It's a model 1405. So if you need information on the scope to repair it, look for the B&K 1405 manual. It also has the troubleshoot tracer built into it. Has 5% to 15% deviation meter. Has frequency error meter. It has a built-in sweep generator. CTCSS to produce your different tones. The attenuator is made by WaveTech. This unit served me pretty good for a right good while, but in the mid-90s it ceased to function anymore. The meters became erratic, and it wasn't long that it just quit producing any signal. Now this is a service monitor, which means that it will receive on-air singles, so you can transmit a radio through a dB attenuator into the RF input jack, and you can read everything directly onto it, or you can connect a small antenna and read from it. Plus it generates various singles from 0 to 1 gigahertz. After this unit quit, like I said, there was very little information, and I found no schematics at the time. 5 years later I did run across some schematics. They are very poor drawn schematics, and there's no documentation with them. So I'll have those up on my site for you. You can download them. The unit has direct frequency entry via the keypad, and the frequency will be displayed on the meter. I think something in the power supply went haywired, and as you can see, the frequency readout is not working. It looks like it's showing digits up there even with the unit is powered out. So I think the driver chips that run the LCD display had probably went bad and throw some voltage to the LCD, and it's had destroyed it. So I've got to locate one of those. I went ahead and removed the scope unit and took the inner case off, and you can see we have several cords that are plugged directly into this top chassis. This is your time-based card, harmonic generator, your low frequency PLL, your high frequency PLL, your low frequency mixer, your output mixer, your FM generator board, and your AM FM detector. The unit just flips up out of the way, and this exposes the logic memory board. Down inside, I think you can see this on the camera, you have your power supply board. This is your audio generator board, your synad board, and your audio amplifier board. The board with the cover missing on the back is which I've been working in. It is your output attenuator, your output board for all your frequencies. Then on the side you can see your attenuator. I just want to give you a little view around it. The reason why I wanted to do the video on this unit is, like I said, there's not a whole lot of information out. I am trying to collect some information and putting it on my site. I will be going through this unit by starting off with checking all the power supply voltages and making sure all the voltages are correct, and then I'll be addressing this display unit. So if hopefully, you know, by producing this, if you have one of these units, I'd like to hear from you and hear any experiences you've had with working on them. I will be redrawing the schematics and adding some voltage measurements and component location on the schematics, and hopefully I'm going to be taking pictures of all the boards and putting different references on those. So with that, if you have any information, I would definitely love to hear from you. Like I said, this was my first communication test set I've ever owned after leaving Johnson Communications back in the 90s. So, and back then I've used the IFR, which I also have one on the bench, and do have a video on fixing the checksum error on it. So yeah, if you have anything, I'd love to hear from you, and until next time, have a good one.